Eat.
To his stubborn he's never gonna let you down. He's always looking so fly. No other pup can compare, that's why Gizmo's the best dog in the world. Even better than Snoop Dogg. That motherfucker better watch out for Gizmo. He's got style and he's got grace. Gizmo's the pup that can't be replaced.
JC stops when her high heel gets caught in the grating of a sewer. Suddenly, a man steps in the frame and points a gun at her. This is not her day. Fade to black. Title: 3 weeks earlier.
I'm going to do a scene from the movie Raging Bull. You fucked my wife? What? You fucked my wife? How can you ask me a question like that? How can you ask me? I'm your brother and you ask me that? Where do you get the balls big enough to ask me that?
Well, what happened? Oh, well, it got so that every pissant prairie punk who thought he could shoot a gun would ride into town to try out the Waco Kid. I must have killed more men than Cecil B. DeMille. It got pretty gritty. I started to hear the word draw in my sleep. And one day, I was just walking down the street, and I heard a voice behind me say, "Reach for it, mister." And I spun around, and there I was, face to face with a 6-year-old kid. Well, I just threw my guns down and walked away. Little bastard shot me in the ass. So I limped to the nearest saloon, crawled inside a whiskey bottle, and I've been there ever since.
So if you want to remember the comedy of the 90s tomorrow, today, just call Candy Adams at Entertainment for Everyone Production.
So there you have it, Bob and David. They're available for weddings, parties, get-togethers, gang-ups, bat mitzvahs, whatever. They're very funny, but be warned, they are satirical. But don't worry, we have a lot of acts that don't use the F. Acts like Choo Choo, the herky-jerky dancer. Champion, the drinker. Peanut Butter, the dressed-up dog.
You'll be sore, Captain Hook. Peter Pan will save us.
Ooh, Peter Pan, Peter Pan. I'm tired of hearing about Peter Pan. Not only do I resent his ability to fly, but to me, John, I find his mirthful timelessness utterly obnoxious.
Peter Pan is my hero.
Booga booga! You see, to me, the idea of scaring someone by simply saying boo is so much less effective than by saying booga booga!
Stop telling those awful jokes, Hook, and release those children. Ooh!
All right, Pan, you asked for it.
Get me way up high, suddenly here am I'm flying.
It's Peter Pan, live at the Mellonville War Memorial Auditorium, August 4th through August 9th. No reserve seating necessary.
Well, it's not really up for you to decide. I mean, that's current
Well,
slang.
I think it is because I'm a troll. It's an offensive term.
Well, that's what it means, so...
That's not what it means.
It does mean that. If you need me to look it up in Webster's and show you, I will. You're basically just a big...
Don't say it. My being a troll is not related to my online trolling.
I'm sorry that people use the term trolling.
Don't use the
but
word.
When you're a troll
If you
and
say
you
it, I'll
troll,
hit
then
you.
you're trolling.
Okay, you're checked in?
Yeah, thank you.
Here's your AIDS ribbon.
No thanks.
You don't want to wear an AIDS ribbon?
No.
But you have to wear an AIDS ribbon.
I have to?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't want to.
But everyone wears the ribbon. You must wear the ribbon.
What you are? You're a ribbon bully.
Hey, you, come back here. Come back here and put this on.
I like cream pies as much as the next guy. Oh, don't say it out loud. Oh, okay. Let me make a cream pie for you, okay? Then you can try it. See what you think. I do not want to taste your cream pie. They taste great. I can guarantee it. You've tasted yours? Of course I have. Haven't you? No. I've tasted mine. I didn't like it. I've tasted mine, yeah. I liked mine.
Hey, aren't midgets great?
I don't hate them.
Sure, they're better than people because you're so slight. We're not so great because we're of normal height. We wish we were like you, so crazily small, instead of what we are, so wonderfully tall. Wonderfully tall. Oh, thank you.
The point is, you gotta have a goal and go for it. I have a goal, something I always wanted and thought was impossible.
Being able to think without moving your lips?
No. That's not enough anymore. My goal is something much bigger than that.
So, how do you go about reaching this goal?
The way you go about getting it is to do every little thing in your life the best you can. If you do everything perfectly, eventually you'll reach your goal. Therefore, I'm going to do everything perfectly. I've got to start at the bottom and do as well as I possibly can the most meaningless, insignificant, mindless acts. Like my job, for instance. Boss, how much does a good cab driver make in a night?
$150.
What was my best night?
You once broke $12.
Boss, I want to drive again. I want to go right back out there on those streets and drive another shift. A perfect shift. I want to be a perfect cab driver. I want to be perfect.
Well, you're on the right track. You've already made a perfect ass of yourself.
All right!
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
We're going to start our volleys. We hope you like the show. Now everything is ready. We're raring to go. We'll give you all the latest songs and dances full of pep. We're gonna start with high jump. Just watch this chorus step.
Hi, it's John Romita Jr. at San Diego Comic-Con. Fantastic Comics in Berkeley is the best shop in the world, hands down.
Originally settled as Ocean View during the 1850s, the city's population boomed with displaced
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents our 181st get-together consecutively on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. This is your funny book talking show, and I'm your fun guy. Get it? See? Fun guy? Telling you everything about the world of comics from not only a fan, because, seriously, who cares about fans out there talking about comic books? This is from a store owner's point of view, who also happens to be a fan of comics. That's me. And for those of you that are new to the show, I should let you know.
My name is Yule Carter, comic book retailer in Berkeley, California.
That's right. This isn't just a show hosted by a comic store owner. It is actually a show aimed to letting people know that we are a comic store in Berkeley, California. Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. We are open, although this summer, a little bit later, come on by, hang out. We have beer sometimes. And if you're of a drinking age, come on over. We'll do it. Don't overstay your welcome. But Wednesdays are definitely the get-together days because it's a new comic book day, and we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. We're also going to be talking about, the San Diego Comic-Con that just happened. Some of you are already in chat doing so. We're also going to talk about a comic that comes out tomorrow specifically. And I want to let you know a little bit about that. We're going to welcome our guest in just a few minutes. But first, we also like to talk about some of the things that happen within the comic store, but that are not necessarily about comics. And we call this the... And there you go. The Wrestling Minute, everybody. Let me get that banner up. Boom. Sometimes the video on my end is choppy, but I have found out by watching it as the show goes on that it indeed plays. So it throws me off for a moment. This is the Wrestling Minute, where we talk about wrestling. And two things are going on in the world of wrestling. There is a pay-per-view, SummerSlam. We're going to have Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns in the main event for the whatever belt they call that. Finn Balor is trying number 2 to get the whatever they call that belt that Seth Rollins has. And then Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes part 3 is going to be happening, all in Detroit. So that should be pretty exciting. That's August 5th. So we have about a week away till that happens. Also in wrestling, Matt Cardona came out to the ring in Japan for the DDT. And if I got that correct. And he came out wearing the Raw, I think it's just the World's Wrestling Women's Tag Team title belt that is in possession of, supposedly, Chelsea Green, his wife. It caused her to come out on Twitter and post this. Maybe it was Instagram, whatever.
So I know that a lot of you guys saw that my husband won the DDT Pro Universal title last night in Tokyo. And when he came out, he brought one of the WWE Tag Team titles with him. Well, my friends, it is time to go back on Twitter and delete your ridiculously idiotic tweets. Because it was a replica. I know, shocking, right? I did not give my brand new, beautiful piece of jewelry to my husband to take to Japan with him. No, it's right here, safe and sound in the arms of its rightful owner.
And I gotta say, that's a good thing. yeah, those people go out there and have to talk about shit because, they got to make up stuff. But, that's just some of the stuff that goes on in wrestling and sometimes in comic books. But if I was really having a conversation about this and why I think it's something to have a conversation about, Matt Cardona, do you know who he is? And you see his picture. Have you ever heard of Zack Ryder? Woo woo woo, you know it from WWE. I contend that his career is pretty meaningless going, he does stuff. All right. He gets invited to go do things. He insinuates himself and stuff like MLW. He bleeds, and he wears his wife's belt out to the ring. You know what I mean? Do you really care? I think it's like trying to be edgy, but it just, it really wasn't that edgy. And that's the slightly longer than normal wrestling. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody who has tuned in after the fact. If you are so inclined, maybe think about hitting the thumbs up. Say you like this stuff. It gets recommended back to you. I hear that's a big deal, especially if we have videos coming out real soon that you might want to check out. And such and such. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. Also, if you're new and haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, and hit the bell for notifications, etc., etc., etc. I guess that's really everything, so I don't need to say that. Let me show you what we're going to be talking about today. There you go. Fantinuum's coming in as he recaps SDCC. We're going to talk about New Comic Book Day. We just did the Wrestling Minute, and we're also going to talk about the Hellfire Gala in the New Comic Book Day section, unless you have something to say about it before I get to it. And you know what? This is a good time for me to say.
We didn't come to borrow any money. We didn't come to borrow any dough. We didn't come to borrow any trouble. We just dropped in to say hello. Oh, hello to you, Mr. Penny. Please don't think that we are hammy. We just dropped in from Alabama. We just dropped in to say hello.
Oh boy, you said it.
We just dropped in to say hello.
And don't forget it.
We just dropped in to say hello.
And I'm...
Hello.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Hello, everyone. I've already cracked the beer. I have a Benchmark. Just a little shooter and some water. I'm ready to have a conversation with y'all. Let me go in and let a lot of comments. We're going to try not dissing anybody by forgetting them. Erica Sullivan on the East Coast was here real early. Just to let you know that he beat Fantinuum to the punch. First on comments. First is right. I responded, but that's unimportant. And Fantinuum is here. And he's here. So give him just a moment. That's right, Lane. Fantastic comics fun with me, Yule. It's going to be great. You're not reviewing Barbie. No, I didn't watch that. I don't go out and see a whole lot of movies. I probably would have wanted to see that, but it sounds like more of a streaming thing. If I don't side with the unions, which I did recently, just today. The UPS thing is over. Thank the Lord. Stuff's back to normal. And if I can stop getting Diamond altogether, I don't even have to deal with UPS over here because my guy over in Berkeley, mwah, love them. And we talk, it's just a great time. Likes the Giants a little too much, but what are you going to do? Also, Lane, I am hoping he talks about the Hellfire Gala. I need to ask how badly has poor Cyclops been cacked lately. Well, let me tell you, he didn't get a whole lot of time on screen, but the time that he had was very, very important to what was going on in the story. I had a message from somebody on Twitter. We still call it Twitter, right? And he asked me what I thought of the Hellfire Gala, and then I saw a video of the Hellfire Gala, and I'm not sure what he meant or they meant, whatever. So there you go. Joby Pill's in the room, the other rooms to be exact. Winnie's here. Hello. X in chat. Excellent. Dwayne Muth is here. All right. LK says, I watched the Venture Brothers tonight. Loved it. Was worth the wait. Satisfying ending, but door open for more, which is exactly what Jill, who watched it without me, deride her in the comments after the fact. No, I'm just joking. I not only is she like, are you sure you don't want me to wait? I'm like, no, go ahead, do it. Because she knows that last season or two, that I waited till the next season to eventually watch it. And she pretty much, just puts it on and then I watch it. But it's not, baseball season. Don't really care. I can't give it my full undivided attention. And I don't want to give Venture Brothers only a passing interest. It's not, like other programs, especially if this is the last one. And it's sad. When I first learned about them, they had already had a season. So my buddy had it ripped and we had DVDs and we watched it. And there were certain episodes I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But, watching Venture Brothers in its totality is just one of the best. It's up there with Taxi. Creo, Yule, what's up? Well, do I have that one? Oh no, that's the wrong one. You know what? I'll tell you what's up. Let me just get rid of that and make it look good. This is what's up.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to be here. I don't usually call people cuz. They were cousins. It's the way that thing was. Let's see. Oh, thanks for the wrestling recap. Of course, Winnie, you know it. Let's see. I skipped some people. Okay. The thing moved on me. You guys are talking up a storm. Love it. Okay, so watch the Venture Brothers. Let's see. Well, what's up? Did the Hellfire Gala? It's tomorrow. It's Lithidlore. Also, I saw that email you sent me, and I want to do a video on it. And that's why I haven't really. This is the first time I mentioned it. It's hilarious, and it's great. I did not write that. Oh yeah, no spoilers yet. That would be a spoiler. Like, you can go crazy on some of the comic books, but but you can't really spoil it for me because I can skip over and it's not that big a deal. But anybody who hasn't watched the Venture Brothers, if you like me, you want to see the Venture Brothers. I know some people don't like cartoons or animated features or whatever you want to call it. But you got to get past it. Let me tell you, if you have a love of comic books, or you have a love of role-playing games, or science, or Johnny Quest, Hanna-Barbera, all sorts of stuff, Japanese culture and freaking horror and all sorts of amazing Doctor Strange shit. It's everything. It's Marvel, it's DC, it's making fun. There's this whole episode where a CGC copy of Marvel Comics #1 slowly gets degraded, but it's done in like Tarantino style, like Pulp Fiction, chopped up method. And it's just done so expertly with as you're watching the comic go from like one grade to another. It's just really, really good. Highly recommend this program. Top notch. I mean, it's beyond. It holds. It's one of those, like, if I have to make a list, and I want Steve, when I bring him in, to think of a list of something like this. Maybe we might talk about it. I'm like, okay, TV, or my favorite comedy, or my favorite cartoon. You have to make your subcategories if you're into those type of things. But without a doubt, for TV animation, it's quite possibly #1. Yeah, it has to be #1 for me. I don't know. I was never that much of a Duckman guy. You know what I mean? They did a video on the Hellfire. So I was talking about a Hellfire Gala where the people were actually at the gala, which was pretty cool. They had gateways, and it was some guy that was, I shouldn't say I know for a fact. It was just very on point, the commentary that the viewer had. The only problem is, like, sometimes the sound volume was really fucked up. But going to the Hellfire Gala, having it like something like that, it was pretty cool, pretty classy. They had cardboard cutouts of your favorite X-Men and other people. It was cute. Here we go. Okay, Sam. Marvel was spoiling pages to Winnie, but it's fine. Marvel was indeed spoiling pages on Twitter today. RIP Jubilee, Cannonball, etc. Let me tell you guys, you gotta go out if you're an X-Men fan or ever have been, and you gotta just get this issue. Just get this issue. You don't just get it and read it. Don't listen to anybody talk about it. Just trust me here. Just go get it. It's $8.99. I know. It is a thick read. It is totally worth it, and I was into it. If you're the kind of person that reads X-Men all the time and you're like behind, get caught up, or you know what, forget it. Just read this. If this can't make you go back and read the earlier stuff, but it's such a slow build, but this is not. It's one issue, and you read it, and there's a lot of stuff that happens, and oh my God. And like, oh, all right. So, the thing is the whole thing about the X-Men. All right. I got to get through this. Talking about Gang War Lane. I saw that. I'll get to it. Yule never has time to talk. LOL on the phone is a problem. Well, what I should really do is just set up a thing like this, and I can just invite people when they call. I just be like, well, here it is. And then you can watch me as I'm working and talk at the same time. Anyway, yes, Gable Stevenson, I saw that. I am trying to become a Pokemon master. It's 100% true. Yeah, Wes and Doc tore into the help, but they were tearing into what has been reported, and a lot of it is just all spoilers. But the thing is that if you only just get all the the vomit out there, which is those are the juicy parts, you want to pick apart from that. But the thing is if you're going to get sprayed by vomit, you might as well get the whole effect. I really like the pacing and the way the story was told. And you know what? I wanted to see what happened to Ms. Marvel after this, because they didn't really tell you about all the stuff. Let me tell you. I like it. Why can't Cyclops have 99 problems and ain't one? Exactly. Watching how Venture Brothers grew from a parody of Johnny Quest to what has been is rewarding. And it's all Doc Hammer and Jackson Public. And one episode or two written by Ben Edlund from The Tick. And that's important to know, because those guys are, I forget one of them. I think it's Jackson Public worked on Tick comic books. So they must be all like New England fools or something like that. Birdman next. Never watched Birdman, but I have my very good friend who got me into Venture Brothers really liked Birdman. And of course, then you're talking about Aqua Teen Hunger Force and some of those other ones. Yes. See it. Okay, guys. All right. Looks like I pretty much. Oh, wait. When he says, what? Another $9 Marvel comic? Nah, I will pass. Saving it for Nightwing 107 Dan Mora cover. Well, yes, of course, but you got another month to go on that one. Marvel whiffed pretty hard on their last $9 book. Is that the Fury one? I pretty much have sold out. I always felt like it was kind of like one of those evergreen kind of stories that's kind of nostalgic and not all at the same time. But maybe it was one of those Marvel voices. They're going to do an X-Men one soon. Ugh. Ordering that stuff sucks. But you know what? I have a lot of customers that actually like it. And, sometimes it's not about what I like. It's what other people like. And you know what? why don't I invite our guest on right now?
Hello. 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 Oh. Go. Look out. Hello.
Hey, Yule.
Hi, Steve. How's it going, Mr. Fantinuum?
It's going well.
The Instagram page to Fantinuum is in the link, or is in the description and the show. You can go watch all the video and see the pictures. Although I've taken some pictures and I will be bringing them up in just a minute. Well, you know what? Before we start, you went out. Well, how was your overall con experience for like 4 or 5 days?
Oh, it was absolutely awesome. From the time I left my house, even going there, when we first went by the Glendale shopping mall that sold a lot of anime manga stuff. And I went to see my parents. My friend went to see his aunt and uncle or something because we passed by Orange County. Then we went to Oceanside. We visited the Top Gun house, had some pie there and a great burrito, and then went on to San Diego, where we sort of ventured around the city just to get a preview. We didn't have preview night tickets. It wasn't really worth it anyways. But we ventured around and then went back to the hotel room, went to bed, and to start our day fresh. But the 4 days, absolutely awesome. I think every year I go there, it gets better because it's more like a muscle you exercise. Like you sort of find more efficient ways of doing things. It's not as overwhelming. You know the lay of the land.
I was going to ask, you know what you're going to want to see and stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for coming on the show again. Thank you for getting John Romita Jr., one of my all-time favorite artists, working in the business now, probably forever. You know,
like I said, it's only 1/50th of the videos and stuff I have for you. I have many more. Wow. I haven't posted them because bandwidth limitations, everything. So remember, tomorrow, come into your store. I'm giving you all the content that I have. And let's talk about the experience then. Let's talk about what I did around, like, as we sort of did the live streaming. Then I thought, let's get some high quality vids for Yule. And I met some cosplayers. I'll tell you that since we were on the quick subject of SAG-AFTRA strike, I did run into a cosplayer. I don't know why she even said this to me. It was kind of bad because it was the first cosplayer I ran into. And I said, hey, I go, you have a great costume and everything. I was wondering if you can help me out. My friend runs a comic book store in Berkeley and blah, blah. She's like, I'm sorry. She's on her phone all the time, right? Cosplay. She goes, I'm SAG-AFTRA. I can't be working. Sorry. Walks away. I was like, I don't know who you are. It's like the other people that I got it from were way bigger than her. They're like, sure, no problem. It was like one girl I got was the one with Superman. I'll show you her. She's actually pretty famous.
You're going to share screen, or you're going to?
I haven't have it uploaded. So I will.
Okay.
You can use it yours for next week maybe, and then we can do a super compilation with a
All
lot
right.
of people promoting fantastic comics.
Nice.
John Romita Jr. is one of them. And let's talk about, let me do this now. I'll tell you how I ran into him. So I kept shying away, running into him, seeing him. So I said, what, screw it. What triggered me to really approach him was, and this is just stupid. This is just how I go through in life, not noticing things. I go to his table and I look at his table and I see the Punisher Warzone #1 cover with the 2 guns coming out. And I was like, wait a second. That's like one of the first comics books I bought as a kid with a cutout cover. He drew that cover. I was like, damn it. I gotta get that signed. So as I was rummaging through it, I had him sign that. We'll talk about that, but also I will be giving you this as a gift, a signed JR to Yule.
Awesome. Thank you. I saw the video.
Yep.
Again on his Instagram, which is in the show notes.
Yep. So he signed it for you. I told him that's for a guy who's a huge fan of yours.
It's true.
And I told him, and he was really happy. He actually, what's funny is that I got it, and he told me all the social media stuff goes through his son. I followed JR, and JR followed me back.
Nice.
So that's pretty awesome.
What, on Instagram?
On Instagram, yep.
Nice.
And he actually made me promise that. I said, "Can you do that promo?" He goes on one condition. He goes, "I can follow you." I go, "Of course you can." I was like, so we did that. So he saw my Punisher Warzone cover thing, and then the Spider-Man print. Had a great conversation with him. I was telling him how, you know, he was like, in a way, it's like, you know, I sort of talk crap all the time, you know me. But I mean, in a way, like behind the scenes, his artwork, you know, as a kid, you don't really look at the artist names, right? But
sure,
part of my childhood going through the comics and stuff like that. So I remember telling him that was like just an awesome, like that was what attracted me to Punisher Warzone, was that cover. It just looked dynamic and awesome. That's it. Not really the character, but just that cover art. But anyway, met him, super nice guy. I'll be posting.
So we have a comment to you.
Sure.
Or about you. Steve went to the gala, but they told him Kens are actually at the Barbie party.
Oh, talking soul. Getting a little butt sore, huh? Because I didn't get you a print.
Talk to him tomorrow. We'll all see
I'm
each other. LK says, please tell me you saw Mark Bagley and you asked him to say hello to me.
No, I didn't see him, but we did see, we were on live stream, and in a way, Topic for Island waved at all of us.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? That was pretty cool.
That was your first day streaming live.
Yeah. And I walked over and he was like, he saw me, pointed at me, and he did that whole thing. And yeah, there's a lot of, so I'll be posting to Instagram soon too. I've been trying to get my real life together now. Came back for performance reviews and stupid work stuff. So I've been trying to slowly put stuff up there. I've also visited a lot of independent creators. And you guys saw that. I don't know how many people know her, but I met that Star Wars girl.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. You bounced right to it.
Okay.
Steve takes pictures with people. There he is. But you know what? You know, this is how, again, showing growth. Steve last year would not have gone the extra mile and got a full body picture. So way to go. That's for I don't know what he calls him, Bob P. Stone.
Oh,
and you also got, and this was the one that really cracked me up the most. This is the one, and with Fluffy, this dude. How did he ever? I mean, seriously, really, this guy.
I saw him and I was like, wait a second.
I mean, he cracks me up, but he doesn't crack me up, you know? This guy. And I like the guy behind him. Is that security or something? He's very serious.
No, this is what happened. I saw him and I quickly made a U-turn. I was bumped into everybody. I was like, get out of my way. I got to see Fluffy, right? So I got in front of him. I was like, can I take a selfie with you? He goes, yeah, cool, bro. His entourage went, all right, man, run and shoot. Come on, man. Keep it moving. So that's why I had a funny angle like that.
No, I love
it. I
just
snapped as many as I can.
You freaking Ellen DeGeneres, that one.
Oh yeah, dude. I didn't care.
You should have done a trust fall on the Fluffy. That'd have been hilarious.
I gave no Fs, dude. I gave no Fs. I'm here only once a year, and who knows when the next time I'm gonna run out.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows when Fluffy's gonna have time to do nothing?
So let me tell you.
Obviously, he's not promoting anything.
I'll tell you something about LK. To LK, who was saying too funny, asking if I ran into Anna, right? This is how I ran into her.
We're talking about that Star Wars girl, right?
That Star Wars girl. I ran into. I was first stopped by. I filmed it. Well, it's in the video in my
No, it is
site, the third one. I'm panning around, and I literally have her in focus. She waves at me. She goes, "Hi," and I say, "Hey, what's up?" And she walks away. And I go to one of the creators, Gabriel El Taib, and I start talking to him. He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I see you filmed that Star Wars girl." I go, "Wait, that was her?" And I didn't even recognize her. So after I talked to him and got some of his stuff signed and had a great conversation with him, I asked him where else would she be, and he said she might be at this booth and stuff. So I went around like a stupid stalker for 20 minutes, walking around looking for her, right? Because I was like, I gotta get like a promo thing for Yule. So as I walk around, and I was like, wait, where else would she be? Star Wars girl should be at the Star Wars booth. So I show up. So this is where my stalking abilities come in. I was like, she's not there. Wait a second. Let me visit Twitter. So I go to Twitter and she's like, oh my God, it said 17 minutes ago. She's like showing herself next to, I was like, oh, she's not here anymore. 17 minutes ago. So I walk all the way down to Artist Alley, come back up. I'm still looking for her. Lo and behold, I swing around. She's right behind me. She's been walking like with my.
I thought you were using that 360 camera, man.
No, I couldn't get it focused. Next year, I'm gonna get it right. So I turn around and
every
I
year
I
is growth.
I said, "Are you Anna, that Star Wars girl?" She goes, "Yeah." So I talked to her. I said, I go, "Would you mind if I get a pic of you and stuff like that?" She goes, "Sure." And then I took a picture of her, got a selfie, and I asked her. I said, "Look, I got a big favor to ask you." I go, "Could you do a promo for my buddy in Berkeley, Fantastic Comics? He's a fan." And I said, and she said, "Sure." So I told her what to say and said, "Fantastic Comics in Berkeley is the best comic book shop in the world." So we have that clip, and we'll add it to your little start thing. And I actually walked with her and talked to her for about 20 minutes, and she introduced me to her other friend, Billy Tucci. And so I bought some of his stuff, and it was going to good cause too. It's for veterans and stuff. So
I was on a show with him one time.
Okay, cool.
I think when I was on Critical Blast, and I was doing the rounds during the COVID era.
Yeah.
He was on one of the shows. It was like a New Year's show or something like that. Not on New Year's, obviously. It was like Christmas or sometime. And Billy was on, and his wife came in. Billy's wife. Did you meet her?
I did.
The blonde woman.
Oh my
She's
God,
really nice, right?
I did the super nice woman, but I didn't.
Yeah, I think she was. You know what I mean? Because it was the holidays, of course.
Oh, I did the most brain fart thing, dude. So I was trying to act all like. So his thing was he had a comic book that was like a convention exclusive. So I asked him, "Can I still get that and have it signed?" He goes, "Of course." So in my mind, I was like, "Okay, I know it's 50." So she says 50. For some reason, I had stuck in my head it was 30. So I gave her like 40, and I said, and the thing was, it was like towards the end, right? And I was like, "Oh, here's
keep
40.
The change.
Keep the 10 for donated to the veterans thing." She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I would, but it's actually 50. I go, "I'm sorry." I gave her another 20. I was like, I'm not thinking straight, dude. I go, it's like dehydration setting in. It's
hey,
like,
come on, it's Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday. I'm all grimy, but she gave me a hug, and Billy Tucci was cool and everything like that. And I met some other creators.
Wait a sec. Did you give 10 to the veterans anyway?
Oh, no, I did. 10? I gave her. So the comic itself, the exclusive was 50 signed. So then I told her I gave her 60. I said, just keep the change. Don't even give me the change. Right. Yeah. So, but
you want Steve to go to your show if it's more than one day, because he'll go both days, and in the end, he's just throwing money away. If you catch him at the right, the first one's a test, obviously.
Gabriel El Taib goes like this. He goes, I go, "Let me get a couple of copies of those." And he puts it out. He goes, "Look, there's 3 variants here. What do you want?" I said, "Dude, you don't know the comic book store owner that I go to in Berkeley." I go, "He knows that I am a variant cover whore." I go, "Give me all 3."
Give me all 3.
So he gave me all 3. And
I thought you were going to tell him I don't want to hear this shit.
Well, he gave me prints and all this stuff.
What was it? What was he selling? What was he hawking?
It was Isom, and there was the other.
Oh wait, you bought Isom?
I bought Isom, and then I got the one with Dean Cain, where he's an agent. So I was like, he said he was on a show, so I was like,
oh my God, well, you know what I want to do? You know what we need to do? Okay, all right, so Dean Cain aside, he's a celebrity, we'll say. He's up there with Chachi and whatnot. I think he's slightly higher. He played football. He's got to be better. Anyway. Yeah. But maybe we get some of these other celebrity comics and we just do a real big review. But I am interested in that Isom because we had somebody in chat last week say it's boring. And, we're talking about a person who's a new writer. Did you find Eric July? He was only there one day.
No, I asked him about it because I know they're in that circle, and I asked Anna about it too. She's like, "Yeah, he's in that panel, but he wasn't there." Yeah. But
he was at CGC doing something.
Oh, I don't even know.
But I mean, that's just I'm letting you know that's what he was there for.
Listen, these people, I got so lucky. I ran into them by accident. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's
sure you did. Were they swamped by people, or was it
Anna? Or
no,
nobody even recognized her.
Yeah,
she was just walking.
So she was just hanging around.
She was hanging around. She's pressed too.
She wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, she came all 4 days, and she told me she just did what she wanted because it's her own site.
She got thousands of views on her videos, if I'm not mistaken. But that's how it usually is.
Yeah.
Anyway, screw that stuff. I don't care anymore. What I do care about is, let's see. You sent me some pictures. So we've got some cosplay pictures.
Yeah.
You know, Black Cat Venom style. That's cool.
I don't think I didn't send that to you.
No, you might not have sent me this.
Yeah, somebody else sent those to you.
Oh, maybe it was
Ryan, probably.
Maybe. You sent me this one though, right? You did.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. That was what I uploaded. Yep. This is for a new Anthony Mackie TV show called what is it called?
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. Yeah, they were giving.
All right, so wait a second. These are people that are just portraying the characters and playing music as they walk down the street like the characters, right?
Yep.
Even though the guys who are working on this are probably on strike then, right?
Exactly.
It's such a that's kind of fucked up if you think about it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying.
Oh well.
That shit shot, and who cares? Because it's streaming services that don't give a fuck about. You want to be a Hollywood writer? You see the way things are going. Are you like going to be? I'm going to be movies only, and I'm not going to.
I don't even know if I'm going to be. Hollywood is just like, come on. I mean, okay, this is my thoughts, and I know these words can come back to bite me one day, dude. If you don't like the pay, just do as we do in software engineering world. Get another job, dude. Just be a mercenary. I don't know. You know my thoughts about unions and stuff like that. So,
well, everybody whores themselves out so much because they need to fill the void of all the things that are like. It's like, hey, I got a bunch of money. I'm a startup, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna have a television network, a streaming service.
Yeah.
I need some product, and like every 2-bit writer and actor and whatever is gonna come on up, and everybody else that has an agent wants to be contacted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So, it's like, what do you expect you're going to get, Netflix? What do you expect you're going to get, Hulu? We watched, they couldn't even get a fucking reality removal cooking show one right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just so lame. They need these writers. Speaking of writers, and this is what I really want to let people know about before I get to it. George R. R. Martin, it got reported in like, I forget what this was. It was some stupid magazine. Game of Thrones author George R. R. Martin says he's been writing the next novel, The Winds of Winter, almost every day as 12 years passed since the last book was published. Duh. Okay. If you have anything to say in the comments afterwards, I'd be interested. What do you think about that? You saw a movie while you were in San Diego, right?
I saw Oppenheimer.
How was that? Quick review.
Long. It was good. Nolan's best? I don't think so.
What's his best?
I think it's between Inception and Interstellar. For me, it's because I think there's a reason why. I mean, Oppenheimer, he's still constrained by the man's life in the book, right? So it's not his total original work. Is it a good movie? Yeah, it is. Worth seeing, totally. But it was good. It was one of those places where you got dinner and a movie. So together.
Yeah, that's awesome. How much was that ticket?
I was like, for two people, it's like $45. Yeah.
Well, it was you and a buddy, right?
Me and my friend, yeah. And then like dinner is separate, is a separate charge. Right?
So I saw a video that when you went to the Sonic Burger place.
Yes. That was late night.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
And it looked like overpriced food with a bunch of Sonic card,
yeah. I mean, it's a pop-up. So this is what happened, how we got there. My friend saw it and he's like, oh, that's pretty cool. So we went there because he didn't have a badge, but he's sort of I wouldn't say he's a huge fan, but he's a fan of Dragon Ball. And he's also a fan of the creator of Dragon Ball. And the creator of Dragon Ball had created a new series called Sandland. So he wanted to see the premiere movie of it. So I said, and it's at 8:00 in the convention center. So I went there and I asked the Sandland display people, I said, hey, we need a badge to get in, even though it's after hours? They go, yeah, you do, to come back in. And I said, cool. So I let my friend, I said, here, take my badge and just go see it since you were such a fan of it. And so he went to see it. And I said, I'll just go get dinner by myself. And that's another story. I went to this place called Lavo with the tiramisu. You probably saw that, right? The tiramisu
thing. It was awesome. I cut that video, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I had like a seafood pasta thing. But he came back late. he was hungry, and he said, "Come on, let's go to the Sonic Cafe thing because it'll open at midnight." So I said, "Okay, let's go." So we went there. I got like a blueberry Sonic type shake. He got like his mango, like
that looked good.
Yeah, he said it was good. He got like this chicken sandwich or something, and I got fries, and it was just. I mean, I took some pictures too.
All right, here's the important thing that I got from that video. Okay, your friend has lady hands. I was looking at his nails, and I'm like, "Oh, those are very."
Let me ask you something.
manicured.
Is it worse to have a guy having woman hands, or like Seinfeld, a woman having man hands?
Well, I mean, in that Seinfeld episode, it was not a plus. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he just had very nice,
dainty fingers,
hands. Yeah, exactly.
It makes other objects seem bigger.
I just want you to know that I was paying attention when I was looking at these videos. I couldn't watch them live except for that one Thursday when Delphin guys were over. And but I was worried that like we were trying to direct you. Like you didn't hang out in the Alex Ross section enough.
You wanted me to be there. Okay, we'll know next time then.
Well, it's not that. It's just that like, we thought we could get like, like kind of guide you around, and that's really bad expectations, obviously.
So next, so I had a plan.
But I'm gonna show you some pictures that we got of it. It wasn't from you, but
okay.
Here's the Alex Ross set.
Oh, this must be from Ryan. Setting up.
No, I think I got this off Twitter actually. Sorry about the but it was beautiful. And if you watch your live stream, are those still up?
Yeah, they are. They are totally up.
Yeah, so if anybody goes and watches it, we were
rat.
We were on it. We were causing all sorts of havoc, I thought.
Oh my god.
Nonetheless, the Alex Ross section was really, really freaking sweet. And that's like what the setup looked
like. If you liked it, so I didn't know you guys really, really loved it that much. I would have hung around.
Well, I'm feeding off what those guys are into also.
So I got a plan next year. So next year, so I have 2 phones now, right? So, dude, I'm gonna tell you something. That Google Fold phone is a total panty dropper, man. It's like I didn't even know. I'm holding that out there. Every woman, even like every chick, was like, "Hey, what? Tell me about that's a big phone."
Right. Well, I want you to know all the pervy stuff is Bob P. Stone. It's not me at all.
Yeah. Well, he didn't even come on.
Except for when it was Black Cat. It was like, I hang out with that person for a second. And, we weren't getting the response. So I was like really worried. But now that you said you've got all these videos.
Oh, you're going to love it. I got
loving
with Joker, Superman with Elektra. I got Gamora. I got, of course, Anna. I got Billy Tucci. I got JR, which you got. I got Stephen Frank, who's the supervising animator for Iron Giant. He was coming up with his own stuff. What else do I have? Think some more. A Karen Gillan lookalike, Amy Pond lookalike, dressed in the Jumanji outfit. And Katana cosplayer. She's actually kind of a professional model. She's also they're all promoting her shop.
She wasn't a SAG actress, I assume.
It says non-union. Yeah, it says non-union on her page specifically. Well, I mean, some of them could have been. I guarantee the one that was Elektra was probably SAG. But she has 1.2 million followers, and she's done shows before. She's done.
And she says something to our store dressed as Elektra.
She tries to, and she flubs up. Superman takes over, says it. I mean, like I could have made a sexist joke right there.
Of course, Superman takes over. Superman.
Yeah, Superman.
You know what I mean?
Gotta have a man.
Take that, Barbie. Did you see how much money Barbie made?
Oh yeah, actually, I saw that last night. I went to see it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, just to be curious of it.
So quick review. It's like I heard men were unimportant in that movie.
It's not even that part. It's not that part. I'd say let's take out the whole politics thing. I think it kind of rambled on. It was the humor was kind of funny at times. Structure was okay up until the middle, and I was like, why? Why is this dragging on? Like, what is this even? Where's this even going?
Because this movie was fucking 2 hours, I hear.
It's 1 hour 54 minutes. Yeah, it's almost 2 hours.
Holy shit!
For a movie like that, for a movie like that,
that's a 90-minute movie. Like they always used to make a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, but anyway,
what if it was 90 minutes? Would it have been okay? Like really good?
Well, it depends on where they cut it and what they cut and how they structured it.
Well, let's just assume.
Yeah, they were going. It was dragging on.
All right, let me show a couple more pictures. Did you by any chance stand in what was probably the most crazy line of all comic book creators, Daniel Warren Johnson? Because I heard there was a Transformers mini comic.
No, I didn't. I think Ryan.
You're a celebrity horror more than a comic book person horror,
Probably.
right? Yeah,
probably.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's probably like really expensive now. Just to let you know.
What did what's his face Donald Sutherland say in that movie that Will Smith was in back in the 90s or 80s? A Starfucker.
Wait, what?
You know that movie where that movie where Will Smith plays a scammer? He says he's Sidney Poitier's son.
That's 7 degrees or 6 degrees, something like that.
Yeah, and then they find out
it's based off a play.
Based off a play.
The guy who wrote the play actually was the guy who said he was Sidney Poitier's son, and was gay, which was important because he was sucking people off, I assume. Which was his gimmick, you know. I mean, also, it wasn't just the fact that he was, and he was scamming people that he was getting everything, and I guess that's illegal. But Will Smith took that role and didn't want to have to do the gay stuff in that. And I forget who told him to do it.
He did. Isn't there like
someone was like, well, you signed that fucking contract. You better motherfucking do it.
Yeah, it was a pretty explicit scene too. I remember seeing it at 14. I was like, what the hell are they doing? I was like,
I'm here to see the fucking Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Imagine pulling his pants up, going parents
another
just don't understand.
significant actor that was like, you fucking do it.
Yeah,
you don't go up to the moment. I assume that's exactly what every chick that had to show her tits had to do in a movie. It was like their agent's like, you motherfucking do it now, okay?
He did that. That's why his mom had to send him to his auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
That's right. All right. A couple more pictures I probably got from the internet. What is this? Oh, did you go to Funkoville?
I did. I ventured around. All my contacts aren't there anymore. So
no, that's okay because Battle Buddy secured me a surprise. Who knows what I'm going to get from Funkoville with their thing. So that'll be a really fun unboxing, hopefully next week.
So Yul, just a tip for next year, right? Since I have two phones, I was gonna say right after talking about my Pixel Folds.
Yeah, I'm closing the store next year. We're both going. We're gonna.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you are nice.
We're gonna party.
Because I was gonna say we're gonna do the live stream thing. Is like I'm gonna go live and take pictures at the same time, so it's high quality vids. I don't have to stop and shoot and do all those things.
You know what? This is a really good time to let people know that we have a Patreon page.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to see me at San Diego running wild,
go fund me.
Go fund me. This would be a really good time to say my money wants to go to you going to San Diego next year. And you don't want to be like George Costanza.
You know, my last name is Costanza. That's Italian. So you and I are kind of like countrymen. Huh?
Paisanos.
650 your change. Ah, yes. And I always take care of my paisanos. So here's a little something.
Antonio!
Si!
Vieni qua! Questa miserabile pastrona!
All right.
That was me with Billy Tucci's wife. We're paisanos. She's like it's $50.
Excuse me. I need another 10 from you.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Trying to put one over on Billy Tucci's wife. What are you eating there? I'm hungry.
Brownie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had dinner and a coffee too. You're having a beer, I have a coffee. I'm going to be going to the gym.
I'm finished with my beer and I'm feeling really bad about that. But I know if I go back in, this show's going to go a lot longer and it's going to go a lot weirder, and we don't want it to do that. No, I'm very, very fucking excited to see all the shit you got for us.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yep.
I really think though that you would be better like, filmer / get the interview ready for me, and then me go in. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick like I'm a star. You're much better looking than me. I totally agree. You're taller, you're way more imposing and stuff like that. But I know what to say. Like, you can feed that stuff to me.
I give off frat boy date rape vibes.
Exactly. Yeah, you're just a little too much Oppenheimer bro or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, what do you give that movie? What? All right, better. What's better, Oppenheimer or Barbie?
Oh, of course, Oppenheimer. I already have the rating. 7 out of 10 for Oppenheimer, 5 out of 10 for Barbie.
Wow, so low.
Yeah.
All right, very good. A couple more pictures. Oh, everything I have now is stuff that's being released. Did you see this DC comic that's going to be coming out soon? Because you're going to be real excited about it, I'm sure.
I'm sure to kill him. Of course, I left his body down there. What was that? No.
That is
Raphael Grompa in September
that looks sick.
Is going to be doing a Batman miniseries. I am so looking forward to reading that next year. Raphael Grompa is one of the only illustrators I'm going to definitely read a Batman comic book for. So that was something that was announced at San Diego. So was this video. I mean, obviously it got off YouTube. I just clipped a little bit of it. So Ms. Marvel is going to get a mini series coming up, and it's going to be written. Do you know who by who?
No idea. Who?
Iman Vellani and some other person.
Do
you know who Iman Vellani is?
I have no idea. Never heard of her.
She is the actress that was Ms. Marvel in the program.
I was just reading. She's complaining today or something about not getting a season 2. For Ms.
Already?
Marvel. And then people were saying like,
it hasn't even started. How
could performing Disney Plus shows ever?
Oh, it did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So she's up. Well, guess what's probably not going to get an issue 6.
Yeah, exactly. I saw 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel. I was like, I can't. It's a cringe fest. Like the way she acts and everything.
There's a couple of DC announced animations, from what I understand. And if you maybe saw this, you can tell us more about it, or just give us what you think. You're a DC fan.
Okay.
Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to be a DC Universe movie.
Depending on what art style. Is it the DC animated universe style?
I don't know. I didn't see anything about it, but yeah, I was thinking like art style would be important. Also, are we talking about like the original Crisis, the characters that we all know and love? It'd be awesome if Adam West could somehow
like
voice Batman.
They flash him.
Also, there's going to be a Watchmen animated movie just to fucking kick sand on Alan Moore's face just a little bit more.
Yeah. Maybe also Zack Snyder's face a bit too.
Well, I don't really think. Yeah, I guess a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's crazy. A Watchmen cartoon.
Yeah.
That could be really good. Give it a little bit more, a little bit, make it a season.
Think they're gonna make
don't screw with
Dr.
it.
Manhattan anatomically correct?
Just do it, word for word. Don't do it in any other way. Just if something needs to be filled, it's within the gutter of the comic books. And if you don't know what the gutter is, you haven't read Understanding Comics, or you just haven't thought about what a gutter is until right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when we see comics interpreted in one panel bits. Speaking of ISOM, did you hear that Eric July has hired Joe Bennett to do one of his comic books that's going to be written by Chuck Dixon, which is, tough for me. No. And that artist is Joe Bennett, who last did Immortal Hulk and got in a whole mess of trouble by having the signs in the outward, facing the public backwards says Jewelry.
Oh,
jewelry. Look at you laughing.
I didn't even see that.
This is obviously a joke that Steve's down with. Nonetheless, he got pretty much blacklisted from working in comics, and now Eric July has hired a couple of people that worked at comics and now are not allowed to.
Oh my God.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, people read into things all the time. I mean, look, it's supposed to stir controversy, right? It's supposed to be a little bit shocking. It's supposed to be a little bit, who cares? Along those lines, Joel, since you were, I don't know if you were joking, egging me on, but you were like,
maybe
I should stir up some shit at Comic-Con. Found an opportunity. I was like, what if Yule was next to me? The ghost of Yule is next to me. So I visited an independent comic publisher, and these guys
keep going. Yes.
They stopped by. I stopped by their booth, and I noticed that their publishing company name was Patriot Comics. So I go, wonder what that means. So they start talking about the comic book stuff, and I sneak in and I go, hey.
Are they all culture war and everything?
No. They're like two young white guys, but they weren't, because
in comic books, I can't believe it.
And I said, this is what happened. I snuck in and I went up really quiet. I said, hey. He goes, what? I go, and the guy's like looking really nervous because I got really close to him. I said, are you guys based? The guy on the side goes, I don't know what that means. They go, base, He goes, well, I'm not familiar. I go, right wing. And he goes, no, we're just like neutral. We're comics. I go, okay, I'm just asking. I goes, no, nothing there. I was just wondering. I go, because your name is Patriot Comics. And he goes, so they weren't. They just said, yeah. They go, we just thought it was a cool name and stuff. And then I went to Gabriel El Taib's booth. I asked the same thing. I go, hey,
are you based?
You based? He goes, no, I'm not. I'm effing based. He goes,
what does based mean again? It means an idiot that will speak his mind. Is that what that means?
Based means, yeah, kind of like that. Based means you're realistic. You're
realistic. I see.
You lean conservative. You're not going to be all, you're basically.
I want to let everybody know right now, and I hope it gets me more than less. There is no way I'm based.
There's no way. I don't think. No, I mean, what is based, right? It's just funny.
I don't know. It's just what you said. I mean, if it's an asshole that says something too much, then it's me.
Well,
I'm way too loud.
I was just laughing at the fact of how I presented the question, how they were just like kind of stuttering, going, "Oh, I don't know what that means."
I gotta let you know this is what I am, and let's be real about it.
Yeah.
I am the kind of guy that's like, I don't want to hear it sometimes from anybody. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, oh, I can't wait to see what these motherfuckers think about this. And that could be anybody. These motherfuckers are on the left and they're on the right. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's the motherfuckers in the middle too.
So you're the
and everybody in between, and it's like I don't know. I'm the troll is really what I am. And if I'm not, I don't necessarily have to be a guy stirring the stick, or anything like that. I can just observe it. And sometimes it's something that fascinates me to see the way people are like, they're like sharks when chum is thrown in the water. And it's like anybody, like this Barbie movie is a perfect example.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the exact opposite of that other one that's all about smuggling kids and shit like that.
Oh.
What was that movie?
Yeah, I know that one. I'm gonna see that one too.
Oh, you're gonna see that?
Freedom, something freedom.
Something,
yeah.
Cry for freedom or something like that. Sound of freedom.
I'm gonna see it with Caviezel. Caviezel stars in it.
Oh, Caviezel's in that.
Yeah, Jim Caviezel.
That's the dude who doesn't like the way The Witcher is.
I don't know.
The one?
That's Henry Cavill.
Oh, that's Cavill.
Yeah, Caviezel's the guy that was in Person of Interest, and he also played Jesus Christ in Passion of Christ.
Oh, that's why I saw
That guy.
people mixing that stuff
Yeah.
up.
But
Well,
anyway,
you know what? He's an actor. He wants to
Yeah.
freaking act. You know, that's the other thing.
Anyway, you all, this Comic-Con also validated your opinion of me, the way I dress, because you're saying something about how I seem threatening. I'm all tactical. Everywhere I walk, people ask me, "What are you cosplaying as? Are you in the military?" Like, no, this is just
What member are you?
Yeah, exactly.
You should have had some
It didn't help when I
Chinese
said
name
this is just
ready
my
to
hunting
go.
gear. It's better for Comic-Con, and I was like, it didn't help either.
You don't understand. This shit breathes. That's what you should
Yeah,
say.
exactly.
You should see these freaking breathing underwear that's going on these days. It's amazing.
Tactical underwear, dude, with all the nanotech.
Oh, hell. All right, here's a couple announcements that came out. I'm going to run through these. Maybe they're going to be backwards. I already did that. So did you go by the Marvel or DC booth? What did it look like? I mean,
the same as every year. It's still
because
crazy.
there's been a lot of years when Marvel hasn't been there at all.
I'll tell you one thing that I saw, and I think I took a picture of it, filmed it. It's in my phone. You'll get it. The guy that voiced the cartoon Hulk, kind of sad, because what caught me was that he was doing a voice impression for the interview. He's a nice guy, really nice guy. Because I remember the first year I went to a panel for the Spider-Man cartoon, and he was on it, and he was the voice for the Hulk. So when we were back on the floor in the convention hall, he was playing the virtual reality game for the Spider-Man thing, and people were watching. He was doing the voice of the Hulk as he was playing. However, this year, when I saw him and I passed by him at the Marvel booth, like Marvel booth is exactly the same as every year. It gets crowded because they do free giveaways. He was hunched over on like a walker. I think he's like sick or something like that. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but he was still doing his voice impressions. He seemed like personality-wise, he was in good spirits, but he physically was not like what he was like 5 years ago. So I was like, yeah.
Damn, that sucks. Did you is that where you saw JR Jr. over at the Marvel booth?
No, he actually changed locations this year. A lot of those smaller artists and independent people, they weren't at this because he used to always be near the Nickelodeon booth, right? This year he's further into with Artist Alley.
Huh. They're trying to build that up because they didn't have a whole lot of stuff.
That's probably why. And that's how
like I noticed a lot of pictures that I saw were like, you know, it's not the fact that there isn't people here.
Yeah.
It's that there isn't people here all the time. You know what I mean? And it's just here to show shit off as opposed to, you know, moving merchandise or let you know about something other than something that's a little bit amorphous, it felt like when I saw pictures of things. And, you know, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I heard that
let me tell you something.
the auditorium was as packed, if not more than ever. But of course, there's nobody at Hall H waiting.
Exactly.
And I take exception to the fact that there was this article written for ICV2, and it's called "This Year in San Diego, We Got the Comic-Con We Deserved." Now, are we talking about a person that used to go to Comic-Con, you know, post 9/11 really is what it, you know, that's the mark of, the line of demarcation. Did it become Movie Central, or did it become, you know, or was it still comic book, you know, area? Was the comic book getting to the point where it was so big that it needed to have another hall, but it needed to have another hall, or not another hall, but another building, but it needed to have another building with something else to deserve another building. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everything became Hollywood. And even with all the Hollywood stuff that happened in, you know, WonderCon and New York and Chicago over the year, and now that we have a strike and we're probably not going to have anything for at least another year.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Comic-Con going to be like next time? You know, these are all people that fucking bought tickets and were stuck going regardless. You know what I mean?
Your observations are not completely off the chart.
This is from all the way over here. That's what I'm saying.
So my friend, Dainty Fingers, was saying he noticed around Comic-Con, right? He said he noticed that the stuff that's for free that you do, and even a security guard made a comment to my friend that it's a lot less than last year. It's not as bulked out with all the stuff and the promos and all those things like that. A lot of people made that comment. Another area was I thought it was just me. I was searching around for the sideshow display, the models like I collect over there, the sideshow statues. And I thought it was just me until that Star Wars girl, I was talking to her. She goes, "Hey, did you notice this year the sideshow display is not here?" I go, "I was searching for it. I thought it was just me." She goes, "No." She goes, "She loves looking at those and they weren't here this year." So maybe maybe sideshow is very tied into the entertainment sector, that they're more entertainment than they are comics.
Well, I don't know, but they do a lot of lifestyle.
They do.
If you're getting a Black Widow movie style, it's going to look like Scarlett Johansson.
Exactly.
So they have contracts. I mean, I don't know how it would go.
And
not only that, there's with all the things that are going on right now, inflation and
true.
gas, and a lot of these statues are made with stuff that we don't know anything about. Product, being made by people that we don't know about or care about, really.
Made in China. Everything's made in China.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
No, well, no. Funny,
if we're lucky, it was made in China.
Funny you mentioned that, Buell.
Don't lick that paint.
Oh yeah, exactly. It tastes sweet though, Yule. No, anyways, so this is the thing. Funny you mentioned about how we're after the pandemic, right? So last year, it almost feels like last year they didn't feel it, and this is just catching up, right? There's a lot of things they kind of cheaped out on this year. And if you notice, there are things where it used to be, hey, you can grab as many or grab what you want. They handed it out one by one this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they were a little bit stingier on that stuff.
Well, I think that's the way things are right now. I mean, even in the comic store, I order for the customers that are going to buy it and something I'm excited about. I'll put a little extra, juice it up a little bit, like Big Game number 1 and stuff like that. But just letting you know, Hellfire Gala is that book next week, everybody. And we'll be getting to some of that stuff in just a second. Let me ignore everything you said and run down a few things that I saw that they wanted to let us know about. On CBR is pretty much where I got everything. Lenny Kramer has said it in chat. Marvel announces Spider-Man centric gang war crossover, and I could be less thrilled. I don't know if I could be less thrilled. I was on Thinking Critical this Saturday, and I was pretty much throwing in the towel as far as loving Spider-Man. Even when my customers are telling me they don't love it, I'm not as into it also. Even though I am a big Spider-Man fan, it's just one of those things that I'm sick of hearing about how horrible it is. And I feel that I am almost to the point where I'm done. And maybe this will be, so it ends on my, the month of my birth, March. I think that might be my line of, New Year's resolution demarcation. It was Batman this year, which everybody said wasn't that big a deal. It might be Spider-Man next year. Might be. I mean, that feels like it would be very, very horrible. I'm a big JR Jr. fan, even to this day. It looks like he's doing the covers and doing all sorts of stuff with this gang war. But the fact that this Rekpar guy is involved is not making me feel good about it. It's also crossing over with Miles Morales. And then there's going to be a whole bunch of mini-series events. That other stuff that I just showed you is like a prelude to. And then they're going to get into gang war. And with gang war, there's going to be all sorts of other books coming out. There's going to be two a month of Spidey. There's the Miles Morales again. And I didn't even show you every cover that's going to be attached to this. Prowler, everybody. That's cool. Oh, we don't need to see that right now. So that was a big deal. We just talked about Ms. Marvel a few seconds ago. She has died in the Spider-Man 26, which I sold out of. I heard it's going to other printings. It was a very monumental issue for a book that nobody really cared about. And Ms. Marvel's already alive. How is she alive? Well, we had Fallen Hero or whatever 2 weeks ago. And then this Monday or Wednesday, tomorrow, we're going to have Hellfire Gala. And the very first pages of the Hellfire Gala is Ms. Marvel coming back to life and letting the world know that she's not only an Inhuman, but also a mutant. And then she's going to have her own little mini-series written, as I told you, by Iman Vellani. And there you go there. What's this one? All right, that's another. Oh, SDCC. Let's see. These are the first 3 issues, covers of, if I have them at all. Let's look. I have a couple. There's one, number 2. And there's one, number 3. So there you go. Ms. Marvel. Going to be a comic book coming out for 4 issues, like most Marvel comics are these days. There you go. What's this thing? Oh, that's a Gunslinger spawn. Let's see if I got that. All right. Seems so backwards. Oh, here it is. All right. Todd McFarlane announced a ton of Spawn comics, and the customer had come in and told me that there were going to be 9 new titles. And I was like, man, 9 new fucking Spawn titles? There's no way. They got the Scorched. They got King Spawn. They got Gunslinger Spawn. They got Spawn. What other Spawns do you need? But then they said there was going to be one for Sam and Twitch, and I was like, all right, that makes sense. And then, like, some of the other Spawn titles are going to be like, mini-series and one-shots and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. Oh, that's later. IDW announced there's going to be a sequel to Last Ronin, number 2. But I thought all the turtles were dead. I got to admit, I didn't read it. So maybe someone can tell me in the comments down below. Nonetheless, I sold The Last Ronin really, really well. And I'm looking forward to selling this one really well again. All right. Let's see if I can go in order. Next up. DC. All right, this one's for you, Steve. DC announced a Justice League, Godzilla, and Kong crossover.
Wow.
Is that something that excites you, other than the fact that you like DC comics and that's kind of your bag?
That does. I mean, that does. It's an interesting premise. I mean, the art definitely is intriguing me.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I like it. I mean, you're going to go crazy. Go all crazy like this. This is stupid.
I don't remember who the illustrator is, but it probably isn't like, we're not going to get Ben Oliver on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there you go. Next up, we have, there's a Titans event that's going to be written by Tom Taylor and folks. I mean, it's all Tom Taylor. It's going to go through like Nightwing and Titans and stuff like that. But again, a big event that's going to be coming out through DC. Yikes. I mean, it's great for me since you're a DC guy.
Yeah.
J. Michael Straczynski, not a fan am I of that gentleman's work. I like his first parts, but his endings not so much. But he struck a deal with Dark Horse, and this Hollywood writer at least has a backup gig. In addition to the Captain America gig he's going to be doing for Marvel.
I met him, right? My first con, and he was
really? Tell me about
really
him.
Weird, awkward guy. So
he's a weird, awkward guy?
Oh, totally. Like, you would think, like, well, maybe that's why he's a writer. So when I interviewed him, I did a written interview where I asked him questions. Oh, it was hilarious. Who is it? Is it Aryan Siaf, the guy that got canceled because he put the Muslim some sort of thing in he wrote a comic book.
You know what? I have a customer that always talks about him.
Okay. Anyway,
it's interesting. He did X-Men. Yeah.
They did a comic book together that I reviewed back when I was still blogging for Bam's Back Pow. And I got to interview the writer, J. Michael Straczynski, and that other guy. That other guy It was like a written
For
interview.
which book again?
I think it had to be a DC book. I whatever it is, I interviewed him. I wrote some
Probably
questions.
Superman, Wonder Woman.
You know, it might have been Superman. And then
Right.
so basically I wrote the interview questions out going like, what inspired you to, draw the character this way? What was your training? The artist, who was Indonesian, he had one word answers. J. Michael Straczynski wrote me like paragraphs, like very articulated answers. So I projected that J. Michael Straczynski would talk the way he wrote, like very articulate, very eloquent. I met him at SDCC 2017. I approached him because he was alone in sales pavilion. And I said, J. Michael Straczynski. And I went up to him and said, hey, I go, I'm kind of a fan. I read your comic. You did a great job. And I first asked him, I said, Mr. Straczynski, right? He goes like this to me. Not like, hey, what's up? He goes, yeah. And I was like, okay. So I went up to him and I said, yeah, I'm a big fan. I collected your, all the issues that you wrote for this run and stuff like that. He's like, okay. I was like, it was like, what do you want, right? I was like, oh, I was wondering if you I can get your autograph. And I found the perfect, like, they usually give you a guidebook, and the guidebook has like all the autographs and has a picture on it. I go, would you mind signing right under your picture here? He's like, okay. So he signs it, and that was it. Like, there was no interaction. Like, I tried to make conversation with him, and the guy was just like, I mean, he was obviously sitting there doing autographs, and it was almost like the way he presented himself was, why are you talking to me? Why are you blah, blah, blah? Almost like that sort of feeling, like really awkward. The guy was really awkward in real life.
Damn.
So yeah, that was my interaction with him.
Damn.
Yeah.
You said something that made me think about a book that got damaged on the shipping on the way here.
Ooh.
There's a gaming book called the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game.
Okay.
And I was just letting people know about this. I should be getting a new copy soon.
Does it use D20 rules? Or
No, it uses only 6-siders.
Okay, so I guess
which is not normally something I am into because, like, what am I playing? Monopoly?
Yeah.
But I do like Marvel, so we'll see. Maybe we'll get a game going in the store.
I was saying, yeah, we could do that. Film it, maybe stream it too, and see.
Oh yeah, 35 people max will love it, unless we get really super famous, and then Marvel will be coming for the money. So we'll have to make our own gaming system and our own superheroes with our own superhero names, and then we'll fight with each other, and we'll have our own little segments of the company. And we'll call ourselves like Imagery or something like that. Yeah, let's see what Talking Soul has to say. Todd is giving away the big posters from the con because he found out they throw them away. He is doing it and whatnot. I don't know what that's in reference to, other than I'm assuming Todd McFarlane.
I got a Todd McFarlane Batman in 2019, the con that before the pandemic. But that was the con where I only flew down for one day quickly. And got it, and then he was signing the next day, but I was able to get a poster. Didn't get a sign though, but
this is a good question. LK says, will IDW be around to publish Last Ronin? Yeah, I think they will. They're actually doing pretty well, at least in my store. And this is just a bubble. The Star Trek books are doing really well. They have things like Rocketeer, which keep the old people coming in. And then, there's Last Ronin for the slightly younger, older people.
Yep. Oh, and
Turtles are cool. Yeah.
Speaking of IDW, another round of pictures that, you can put on your site and you can share, and I'll share it to my site also, is that Kevin Eastman, I took a picture of the IDW booth and Kevin Eastman was there. And they were doing signings. You had to have a ticket though, but I got a good picture of them. I got some video of the whole line and everything like that, and the whole IDW booth. So you can have that on your site too.
Nice, I love that. Kevin Eastman, I love the Turtles, man. They're so informative for me when I was an early teenager, and from the comic book point of view, not as much for the cartoon, but even still seeing that created the figures and everything, it was just it was the black and white boom of the 80s, and Kevin Eastman's like major super in charge of that. Talking Soul says IDW put the writer of the last run in charge after they fired everyone. He said this at the Short Box Con. Well, I'm sure that nobody that's working behind the scenes at IDW that aren't pushing pencils really matters. I mean, am I wrong? Here, I can do this so it doesn't look as silly. You should get a picture up for that someday.
Since we're on the subject of turtles, I paused my video because I was getting this. Maybe you guys be interested. I stopped by a booth and I got some. This is a limited edition con exclusive. These are turtle figures. And let me show you.
Wait. Let me make you big. Hold on a sec. Boom. Those are turtle figures?
Turtle figure. Let me show you what they look like. They're by an artist, and they are there's a pack of 4 of them. So it opens up like this, and you can see they're black and white.
Oh my god! Wait, where'd you get that at?
This is a booth that was called the Loyal Subjects Los Angeles, and this is like Nickelodeon, basically Comic-Con.
And it's black and white. I got such a boner for that.
That's what they look
except for their masks. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what they look like. Let me see who the artist. The artist is straight from the pages of the TMNT IDW comics with custom artwork from Mateus Santaluco. TLS proudly presents Tiras de Pajes de Bandes. It's in Spanish for him. And I got this one. They're Chibi exclusive models.
I'm down.
Of the turtles.
So turtles. I didn't know you're such a turtle guy.
I like turtles, and check it out.
That's cool. That's a good angle.
It look like it. And in the back, maybe it's better. It's not as reflective.
Right. Oh,
so yeah, so I got these 2 last day, and they had that, and man, this woman was all like, she opened a whole can of worms, just like, oh, I got more here if you want a perfect box. So I spent the next 10 minutes looking at the box. I was like, I'm sorry. I go, you got to know I'm OCD. I go, and I reference your name. I started mumbling your names, but yeah, if Yule could be here, he'd be laughing because he's the one that has to suffer through me every week. Oh, a little thing in the corner.
Here's my
nice.
Raphael.
Very nice.
He's the only guy I really like of the. I mean, it was probably because of Elektra and
the
Daredevil. The size. Lane Kramer asks one question. Can you explain as a retailer what the F is Black Widow becoming Venom in October and will be so at least through the end of 2024? I got to admit, when I'm ordering Venom, if it doesn't cross over into a book that's more important than it, I don't really care. I can name you a bunch of books that are like that. Catwoman, which is important if you're the person that wants to read both the Batman and the Catwoman storyline that's going to be coming up soon. So, I'm not going to order as many Catwoman as Batman, but I'm definitely going to order more. So, that's a key book if you're looking at something to collect, people out there. Especially if something happens. I don't really pay attention to this stuff, and I don't care what Black Widow does. She bores me as a character unless somebody that I like is actually on the book. If Ben Oliver was on it, I know one person who'd buy it.
Oh, yeah.
Talking
about a guy who likes to
masturbate to comic book covers? Is that what you're going to tell?
What was this exact terminology used? Who, riding his cock or something?
Well, maybe. Oh, yeah. Ben Oliver, for sure.
Yeah, and Bermejo and Jock.
Marvel announced that there's going to be a brand new Punisher, and it was at first, I guess it was supposed to be a Brit guy, but I don't think it is. Hey, at least this guy has guns.
I like the pause button on his shirt.
He's going to be like an ex-SHIELD agent or something.
That's what they said, yeah.
Yeah. Also, legendary artist Greg Capullo returns to Marvel, and do you want to know what they announced that he's going to be doing? Covers.
I was going to say, Wolverine.
What you do? There's going to be a Superior Spider-Man getting his ongoing series, and just Irk Yule Carter. That's me. It's Mark Bagley on art. Look at that uninspired cover.
I see he ripped off Todd McFarlane's spaghetti web.
Well, I guess so. I mean, if we're just trying to make fun of his list, I'll agree with you. easy whatever.
Yeah, easy. It's a low blow. It's a low blow.
It's a low blow. Yeah, you're punching down on that one, even if he is bigger than you.
Yeah.
There's a collaborator. All right, tell me who the hell Andy Samberg is.
Oh, you don't know who Andy Samberg is?
He did the Chronicles of Narnia?
Yeah, the parody and the
Chronicles of what?
Yep, that
Narnia.
Something. Berkeley Rays too. He went to
Berkeley Rays. Oh my God, I knew a guy that used to work at Games at Berkeley and also used to be a customer at Fantastic Comics from time to time, who was on who did a video with him that was a big deal, and they were doing like the Bash Brothers, Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco.
Oh yeah,
and that was a thing.
Yep. Yeah.
He also works. He also did shit for The Escapist on a podcast. So who gives a fuck?
He's dead to you now.
Dead to me. Can't remember your fucking name.
I'm gonna end this show and go like this. Go. You all gotta go. The Escapist has me on.
Oh wait. Anyway, Andy Samberg, and do you know who Joe Troman is?
Yeah, he's probably the guy that's the lead singer for Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy. I only know one Fall Out Boy song, and thanks to God that Dave is no longer in existence here in the Bay Area, and Live 105 is back rocking all the bullshit you never wanted to listen to in the past.
The one song
back to let me know that Fall Out Boy does a song. Do you want to know what they do? They do a cover of Billy Joel.
Oh, that's the song you know? The song I know is...
You know what song it is?
Victoria's Secret Show is the song I know.
Of all the Billy Joel songs, what do you think they cover?
Uptown Girl.
Incorrect.
Okay.
It's We Didn't Start the Fire. I Didn't Start the Fire, whatever the fuck. Except they don't use all the old terminology. They put the new terminology in. You know, they talk about Donkey Kong and shit.
Osama bin Laden.
Osama, 9/11, you know, that
Trump.
type of stuff.
Stuff like that, right?
So Fall Out Boy and Andy Samberg, is he the guy in Brooklyn 911?
Yes, he is. I was going to mention that, yep.
All right, I've seen some clips thanks to YouTube Shorts, which is basically TikTok crack.
Yeah.
I'm okay with him for a couple of those, but it's really no, it's him. Anyway, fuck this book that he's doing with Rick Remender and some Fall Out Boy motherfucker. Because you know why? They go straight to the Nazi shit. And I can't stand it.
What if it's the KKK shit?
You know what? KKK is perfectly okay in my book.
Nazis is overdone, right? It's cliched now.
I just can't stand Nazis anymore, man.
Why are they such a scapegoat?
I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I've seen so many comedies where they're the scapegoat that I just can't take them fucking seriously anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like when Monty Python and freaking Mel Brooks and freaking everybody has made fun of you to your fucking face. Spike Jonze, not the director, the conductor. You know, it's just like, give me a break. I'm just
you know what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a parody of this situation, but not with Nazis, but as a commentary that the new enemies that are going to be overused are the Mongolians during Genghis Khan's era, because they were
fuckers. Let me tell you,
they were worse than Nazis. It's just a time sort of.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to say worse, but they definitely. You know what they did? They didn't burn the culture of the
they absorbed it. They absorbed it. They culturally appropriated, which is probably worse today. It's probably worse today.
I mean, some would say they just continued it. You know,
they added to it.
They added to it. You know, they boosted it up. You know what? They're better than the fucking Catholics. You know, they didn't burn no fucking shit. You know what I mean?
It is true though. I mean, it's a good thought exercise. Like, what would happen if 1,000 years from now we look at history with the Nazis, right, and see what people say.
Right.
And it's
no, I'm not getting into this conversation. This is more in store than anything. This is more like we could get a little bit more theoretical. All right, you know what? Let's talk about some comic books that are coming out tomorrow, because I know everybody wants to know about all these books that are coming out tomorrow. But there's one that I didn't get a good picture of that I wanted to show you, and it's sitting. It should be right here.
Ooh.
But of course I don't see it. Wow. Oh, here it is. All right.
Oh, what is that?
Here's a book that's coming out. This is DC Comic Book, everybody, and it costs. Oh, here you go, Winnie. It's $6.99. But Mark Waid writing, Brian Hitch drawing, Kevin Nolan, and oh my goodness, David Barron on colors. I very rarely care who the colorist is.
Yeah.
Superman.
Ooh.
The Last Days of Lex Luthor.
Wow.
A Black Label magazine sized comic book.
Wait, they're $6.99? I thought they were more expensive. That's pretty cheap. I thought they were $12.99.
No, they're not. No, $6.99.
Yeah.
I did not read this first. This is definitely a book I'm really gonna look. I love Brian Hitch. I love Kevin Nolan, and you know what? David Barron's a colorist. It's worth saying his name. Mark Waid from time to time is hit and miss, but more often than not, when he's worked with Brian Hitch, it's been really, really good, especially his Superman / Justice League stuff.
I'm sure that contains a lot of like two-page splash pages.
I would, we're going to call it a little bit more. We're going to call it like the cinematic style.
Oh, nice.
You know?
I love that. You know how much I get wood for that, dude.
Yeah, totally. Comic book wood.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to turn my camera off so that symmetry. First up. Let me get the banner up. This is the last issue of the She-Hulk series. There is a decal or decal cover variant. They only got a few of. That guy is a brilliant illustrator, even if he's working digitally. He knows how to do the job better than most. But I'm showing you the normal main cover, and Rainbow Rowell and She-Hulk will be around for another round in the Sensational She-Hulk. So customers of mine and people out there that are customers of stores, let your future comic store know that, let the comic store know that you want this future book that's coming up. Next up, we have Avengers #3, and I noticed that a bunch of you didn't read or didn't get the second issue. Did you miss it? Were you on vacation? Do you need to pick it up? Also, if you're a person out there, you might want to I want to let you know that #2 came out and #3 is here. It got good marks, and Jed McKay is the writer, and I can't remember what the first name Villa is on art, but it looks good. It's a fun team, and I really did like the first issue, but probably not unlike you. I didn't read the second issue yet. It's sitting right here, waiting to be read, but again, I heard it was really good. Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man #30. I have been enjoying this Doc Ock change and the old arms of Doc Ock now attached to Spidey. A little weird that Jay Jonah was, I don't know, kind of simping for those arms. But Ed McGuinness has been doing a really good job on the art, and it's been a pretty fun story. I hope this is the end. Next up, we have Ultimate Invasion #2 of 4. This is a more moderately priced $5.99. I really like the first issue and the art by Brian Hitch. I heard that name before. It's really, really good. And I'm expecting big things from this series as we go on. I hope it's a collection series that I'll continue to sell. Next up, we have DC, Dawn of DC Night Terrors #2 of 4. This is the second issue this month of this miniseries that is concluding at the end of next month. And if you got the first one, you might as well get the second one. Like I know Fantinuum will. The first issue of Incredible Hulk was really, really good. I enjoyed it. It was reminiscent of many Hulks past. And it was it was illustrated very adeptly by Nick Klein, and I really enjoyed it, and I suggest you pick it up. If you haven't already, number 2 comes out tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to reading it. The reason why I haven't read any of these comic books is because I read the very, 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 very thick $8.99 2023 Before the Fall of X, or maybe presently the Fall of X, Hellfire Gala. And let me tell you, there are a lot of people that worked on this book. But first and foremost was Jerry Duggan, who writes the normal X-Men series. I think he's primarily the writer of this book. And I feel that he did a really, really great job. In fact, yeah, he is the writer of this book. There is a bunch of illustrators like Hubert, Shitty, Douterman, Pinna, Silva, Casara, Anka, Lolly, Laraz. You've heard of all these names. They're all the Stuart Immonen clones that are out there. De La Cruz, I think he's also playing for the Cincinnati Reds, but I could be wrong. Nonetheless, this is a really, really good-looking book. It celebrates the mutants on the island, and then about a quarter of the way through, the fit hits the shan. And oh my God. Gotta put my camera on and make me solo. The fit hits the shan. This book here, like, do you like Nimrod? Like, especially the new look Nimrod, I'm really into. Ms. Marvel, born in the very, very beginning of the book. Cyclops has some crazy hair, walking with Emma. Ms. Marvel is born again. She's a mutant, and they're trying to, talk her into coming out as a mutant and everything before she's even processed everything. And you're just kind of swept up into the whole gala of the thing as Jumbo Carnation comes in to make her a dress for not only her costume as an X-Man, but also as as a person attending the gala. And her parents don't know she's alive again or any of this stuff. And it's just amazing. We got the Stepford Cuckoos right here, whatever they're calling themselves. You got Jean Grey's tits out and crazy. This book is so it does everything you would expect it to do, and then it hits you really super hard. And let me tell you, Charles Xavier, now that guy gets pwned. You know what I mean? I mean, he really takes it on the chin. And he does something that's so, so bad. And I just love this issue. And I thought it was a great one-shot. And I'm looking forward to the Fall of the X. Because if you're looking at the Fall of the Mutants and the whole mutant massacre that happened back in the 90s, you got to really say to yourself, like I did at the time, this is some bullshit. Ain't nobody dying that's worth a damn. You know what I mean? Who cares if some freaking Morlocks die? Well, you know what? As someone said in chat earlier, Lane, maybe, Jubilee's dead. She's dead. The whole freaking X-Men team that got announced is freaking dead. You know what I mean? And it's awesome. I liked it. And they figure out a way to screw up the resurrection protocols, and it was a good issue. Read it, get it, love it, because you know what? Too many people hate shit all the time, and this is a really fun issue. There's nothing wrong with it. Get it. Trying to get that $9. Invincible Iron Man by Jerry Duggan. Stop me if you heard this one. He screwed over Rhodey so bad. So bad. I bring you back. We're going through these really quick so we can end this shit. Night Terrors action comics written by Leah Thompson, but I'm a sucker for Cyborg Superman, so I'm down. Daredevil Echo by famed comic writers Taboo and B. Earl. Storm by Ann Nocenti, and there's a different illustrator. That first issue sucked. That was by a guy named Codian, and like they should have chopped fingernails off. It was so bad, just fingernails. Next up, we have Nightclub number 6, the conclusion of the first volume of kids that turn vampires that want to be superheroes. Fun book. What if Dark Spider-Gwen? Because, in her universe, Peter Parker dies in front of her, but not Spider-Man. I'm very confused. Spider-Man India, an alternate world Spider-Man in India. I liked the first issue. I thought it looked really good. It had all those Indian flavors that I don't actually like on my tongue. It was great.
Oh my God.
I thought that was pretty funny review. Tenement number 2. Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino. You know what to expect. It's that whole Bone Orchard thing. And the first issue was good. I don't need to see more. Poison Ivy Uncovered. It has multiple covers. And funny enough, it is its own comic book, is multiple covers. So we all know you buy Poison Ivy not because G. Willow Wilson writes it, but because all the covers are so scintillating, whether they be Middleton or Frizzon or whoever this person is. There you go. All right, here's one for you, Steve. Can you roll your R's? Your evil. Thank you. Mirko Andolfo and Laura Braga, when they write the description of the book and they get to Lauren Braga's name, they say superstar artist. Can you name a Laura Braga comic by any chance? Yeah, don't worry about it. Not a superstar. But Mirka Andolfo is, but she's writing this. Nonetheless, it's like a mother and a daughter and magic and cats. What lesbian doesn't want to read this? Next up, we have Red Room, Crypto Killers number 3. This is like, the last gasp of Ed Piskor's Red Room series. And if you're enjoying black and white pencil and ink art and basically, snuff films on the internet, this is definitely the book for you. If you are a fan of old-ass dead karate experts that waged gang wars against other karate studios, you might want to read Count Dante by Scout Comics, one of the only Scout comics I'm actually carrying actively in the store and trying to sell to other people. This is the unauthorized but sort of true. And the reason why you have to say it that way is because this guy is motherfucking bonkers. And you don't know what to believe. So you just recount it. So even the bullshit that's being spewed in this comic book could quite possibly be true. Or at least, we got to believe in the reality of the person that's spewing it. So it is true. And lastly, we have Ribbon Queen by Garth Ennis. And wow, somehow Avatar got Jason Burrows stolen away from them. I bet this might have been at one time an Avatar comic to be. But suffice to say, it's in AWA, AWA. And Garth Ennis is writing it. And I know exactly how many people want to read a Garth Ennis comic book and how many more people might want to read this comic. So I hope I ordered accordingly. There's also a Palookaville coming out tomorrow. For those of you that are Drawn and Quarterly Seth fans, you should know about one of the greatest cartoonists of the 90s, still plying his trade today. And with that, that's NCBD.
So Yule.
Yes, sir.
We're on
Tell
the
me
topic
more.
of comics. I know you want to close up the show quickly.
No. I don't want to quickly.
Okay. So I can quickly go over some of the Billy Tucci, the original one I bought.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we do full screen. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm a Billy Tucci fan. I remember
take this out.
When I wanted to break into comic books, I remember she was coming out. And my idea was we were going to commoditize women by selling our comic books with them. And my girlfriend at the time was like, "Are you sure you really want to do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm just all talk." But it was more like I was talking about.
Yeah. So
But,
that's pretty cool. And then aside from Billy Tucci, we can get into the smaller ones. But
wait, I want to see that Dean Cain one. Do you have that?
I was just gonna whip this is the cards that he has.
Like they don't have comic. They don't have any comic
I'm
books yet.
gonna show this one first, real quick. This is what he had. He gave me this for free because I bought. Here, let me get this guy out. Let's start with what you're interested in. ISO.
I am interested in that.
Yeah.
Cliff Richards is a pretty good illustrator. Gabe El Taib is a colorist, and you guys know what I feel about that.
Yep. And then here is Truth Justice.
That's Gabe El Taib saying that Superman can't say truth, justice, and the American way anymore because there's too many communists reading comic books these days.
Yeah.
But I'll have you know, my favorite issue of any Superman, any one issue is Action 775 called What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way. And it's an expertly written and illustrated by two illustrators, Lee Bermejo and Doug Monkey. Joe Kelly writing Action 775.
He gave you some
maybe one of the greatest comic books ever.
And some cards that he gave.
But he doesn't have but I don't care about Truth, Justice, and the American Way. DC has beaten that out of me. What I care about is a Dean Cain comic book.
Yes.
There is no Dean Cain comic book?
Oh, that's coming out. That's coming out. So he didn't give that to me.
Let me guess, it's crowdfunded.
I don't know. He didn't say anything about that, but I did.
I ain't crowdfunding no fucking Dean Cain comic.
Yeah.
I don't like Princeton that much. You know what I mean?
You don't like?
Oh, LK says I loved Billy Tucci's Miss Fury books. Those did really well for me in the Go-Go 2012s.
And I'm not sure if you're familiar with John Zur. Platten.
Wait. Battle Buddy says whoever pays the most on Patreon gets to choose what Yule wears at San Diego.
Top cow.
Oh, wait. Let me make you full screen. Hold on a sec.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's all right. Solo layout. Very
Revolvers
good.
and Mercy. This is these are I was visiting a lot of independent publishers. I had a good conversation with them too.
Those are comic books.
Those are more like the prestige kind
graphic
of novels, yeah. So
nice.
And then this guy named Matt Hawkins. He did something called Colossus.
Yeah, I have that at the store.
Oh, you do?
Not like that.
I made a joke. I made a joke to
he's
Gabriel.
got like. Did you tell him I hate those freaking Gollum Jewish stories?
I didn't say that, but I did make.
It's like that's right up there with Nazis. I just don't want a Gollum story.
I made a comment to Gabe El Taib. I said, I'm committing a huge sin buying these variants from you because now I'm being a true whore because I was only committed to Yule getting those from him. Now this is money taken out of his pocket. Because I remember how butthurt he got when I bought all the variants from Reggie Collects.
With Reggie Collects, was he there this year?
I didn't see him. I don't think so. Maybe. And this is another guy. This is the guy that was pretty cool. His name is Stephen Frank. He also greeted you on the video. I had him also say it. He's the Iron Giant lead
Iron Giant.
Yep. He created this book.
What?
He first introduced me another one called Silver. And this is about treasure hunters who needs to find silver, and it's an offshoot of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
All right, let's see the insides.
It's about vampires and all these things, so it's pretty cool.
Is it black and white?
It's black and white. It's black and white.
I like it. I like it.
It's really cool. And then he sold me on this. He said, "Oh, if you like that, I bought this one. The book 2 one he's gonna mail me signed. It's still being created. This is called Rosalind, which is one of the characters in that Silver book, and this is the prequel to it. It's a companion book. And what's cool about it is, as an homage, I knew exactly what he was going for.
Wait. One's hardcover and one's soft cover.
Both are hardcover. This is hardcover.
Oh, okay, good. All right,
hardcover too. Yeah, see, yeah. So this Rosalind book, he was trying to explain it, and I said, "Oh yeah." I know what you're doing. So he said, "Oh, this one is written in like a diary format of the one of the female Rosalind, the Vampire Hunter Silver, and because it's based on the Bram Stoker one, I told him, I said, "Oh, it's epistolatory, so it's an homage to the way Bram Stoker wrote his book." So he said exactly. So that was pretty cool. And then a couple of independent creators. I kind of melded with them because they also work in software and they're trying to break out of it. Is these 2 guys ran into? It was the guys that I made uncomfortable by asking them if they were based. I was joking with them, right?
Oh,
those 2 guys. It was hilarious.
Guys.
They were nice guys.
You can't name yourself after American Missile and expect people to not think you're pro Second Amendment and shit like that.
It's not even that. Well, I'll show you why, dude.
Tell me someone who's based that doesn't like the Second Amendment.
I was laughing so hard on this.
I'm gonna play our closing video. Don't leave anybody.
Okay. Sure. So, if you look at this is why I thought they were based. Look at this. This is Patriot Comics.
Wait, prisoners. Oh yeah, nice. Very
good.
So
these 2 are spin-off comics. You can call them
God is a book. Those are everything I hate about independent comics right there.
Nicolas Cage. And this is the guy that played the Kingslayer in Game of Thrones and also stars Jamie Foxx. And this is a weird one. This is one where he has
Jamie Foxx. What happened to him?
I don't know. He's still alive. But this
He's on strike too.
Yeah, so they're trying to get some movie stuff, and this one's pretty cool. This one's called Lifeboat, and they had another feel-good comic, but this is the most interesting one that I said, "Oh, I'll take this one." It's a book that they created from Critical Entertainment. That's their publishing company. I'm going to tag them too. It's called Space Dragon. And this is he told me the stories about a dragon that goes into planets and basically consumes their resources. I think water or something like that. However, everything, there are no words because of course it's a space dragon. There is no dialogue. So everything is basically based on the images and the visuals.
You know what that means? They're not at all thinking about translating that into anything other than a comic book movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, it's pretty cool. I visited them. And,
God Bullets, my favorite title ever.
But like I said, like I visited, like this year I think was cool because I was able to, or God is a Bullet. God is a Bullet.
Whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought this year was cool because I was able to visit a lot of the independent publishers, and it was more concentrated on comic stuff. It's not really the actors and people taking stuff away.
I mean, you couldn't have any actors or anything like that.
I couldn't, but I mean, do we miss them? I don't think so.
What do you think about an actor on strike right now finding out that nobody gives a fuck?
I laugh because it's like my friend and I had this conversation driving down there. He goes, "How do you feel about it?" I say, "Get a job like a big boy. You knew what you're getting yourself into. You knew this was a risky job. You knew this was a risky profession. Now you're bitching and whining. Come on."
Well, I do have a problem with the streaming service situation.
Yeah.
You know, there are no real regular seasons of television anymore and stuff like that. And you know what? I'm not paying you for 25 episodes when you're only working for 10 either.
Well, that's
but at the same time, this is a year-long proposition of how long you actually make money. You know, going forward, you know, this stuff is supposed to be on forever.
Yeah. I mean,
but you know, these corporations they'll cut off their nose to spite your face.
Yeah.
And they'll say, like, you know, oh, you're not going to make any money, and I can handle that because I got something else that I've already created that I've already ripped off some motherfucker for. And then I wouldn't say necessarily the strike is righteous.
Yeah.
But when you're going up against the devil, it really doesn't matter, you know?
Well, I mean, the way I view it is no different than any other industry, right? They're not special. Like, I work in software, right? It's the same thing. Like, do we unionize? I mean, we were joking once. What if all the software engineers unionized, right?
What if?
Well, they do,
There'll
right?
be somebody else to do it.
I think it's a gamer. Yeah, I think the gaming industry is unionizing or something like that.
There will be somebody else to come in and do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, contractors. I mean, I view the streaming service sort of like consultants and contractors in our industry too, right? You may not be full time, but you're like a mercenary. You're a gun for hire to do something temporary, then you leave, right? You're not going to get all the benefits. You know, you could be a W-2 temporary employee, or you could be fully, 1099 is what they call it. Like, you pay the taxes out of your own pocket, you charge more. I mean, it could be a variety of things, right? I mean, but like,
contractor.
At the end of the day, you know what you're getting yourself into. I mean, it's a risky job. It's the glitz and the glamour, and it's like, big deal. It's like, okay, fine. You're not the center of the universe. I mean,
there's a reason why we talk about child actors all the time.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of child actors, you know who I saw there that was really strange? Huh. You know the girl that played Iron Man's daughter in Infinity War and Endgame? I Love You 3000. No. Okay, people would probably know. She was there, and I was like, wait, aren't you part of SAG, even a child actor? And I was like, she was there taking pictures and greeting people and stuff like that. Nothing looks more weird, Yule, than a 40-year-old man. I didn't do it. Coming up going, I'm such a fan. Yeah, you can never. It's not.
Most of the actresses or actors that I'm a fan of have aged with me.
Exactly.
Most of them.
Exactly. Or they're dead now. And I go to their grave that I'm such a fan. Exactly.
Did you check out Peach Momoko? You should always go to Peach Momoko.
I was trying to find her. I was going to alert you guys. Go, where is she? Where is she? I was like,
usually Image, if I'm not mistaken, but you never can tell.
I did find a couple of artists who still had their masks on. A line of them.
Oh, really?
And you couldn't. The one I had last year, the one I took a picture with, she got married. So she is like Chrissy Zulo something, like a dash something. That's her name now.
Uh-huh.
But it's her husband, and some other people, all that same role. They're all masked up. Still masked up.
Well, maybe they weren't feeling very well, and they still wanted to show up. I think masking up in that situation is very responsible, even if you just have a sniffle.
You know, I like that.
As a person that works a register, I appreciate that.
You know what's funny? I like that attitude now when 10 years ago they used to make fun of Asians. Why are the Asians in 99 Ranch wear masks? What are they doing?
That's just because they got all that fucking smog over there, wherever there may be. Like
now it's
LA,
like acceptable.
You know? Yeah. Jilby Pill says Crispin Glover sued over his appearance, and we've been watching Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, because that's
in Back to the Future 2, got a bunch of money. She says, I believe.
Yeah, because it wasn't him. I think. I mean, it was a stunt double. That's why they hung him upside down too. Remember that? It was for my back. Remember that futuristic scene.
Jasper Plan 9 says Richard Friend, inker extraordinaire, posted some great walkthrough videos. Unless he's colorist extraordinaire, I think he's inker. Nonetheless, I shouldn't know all that. He does a lot of Chris Bachalo work, unless it's Bachalo or Bachalo or whatever. So this is a part of the show where I want to say thank you for being a patron of ours. You give us money. We give you so very little, but you love to give comic stores or comic shows or Yule money for nothing. And that's great. I am losing weight, but it's not looking toned yet. So someone had mentioned something about shirts being taken off if I ever get to Super Chat situation. And that won't be happening anytime too soon. It's because I care about you that I would not do that, even if I was as toned as I would love to be. Danny Mickey, well, yeah, he's definitely an inker. and inker. There's inkers and then there's embellishers, and you should really know the difference. Let's see. Wait, I see some people in here I haven't seen before. So let me just see if I'm missing something. The Chuck Barris of the Kung Fu world. I don't know what that was about, but funny enough, I don't have that picture here. Oh, damn. Never mind. I know I went backwards so far. Did you see Peach? I fired Patriot missiles, but I'm not a Second Amendment nut. I don't know what Hail Bob. Gotcha. Now I understand. I stand for marzipan. Ralph Macchio. And okay, very good.
I saw Corey Feldman. I took a couple of pictures.
Corey Feldman, the last Corey.
And his representative went, Sir, the line is over there if you want to blah blah for prices. I go, no, I don't need to. I already took my picture for free.
What was your favorite Corey Feldman movie?
Probably Goonies. I was gonna say, hey, Mouth, what's up? Maybe Lost Boys, one of the Frog Brothers.
I would say Lost Boys for me. He did that one with the other Corey.
Dream a Little Dream?
That was a strange one. It had like Jason Robards or something like that in it.
The old man trading places. I think it was a body switch movie. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. When he's going to bed, and that's probably a good thing for us to maybe do. I'll see you on the other side. This will just take a second. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. See you next week.
See
I am not interested in death. The only thing that concerns me is the preservation of life. Class is dismissed.